Greetings and salutations, and welcome back. So continuing on with my wish list for what I'd like to see future updates of the game Empyrion, let's begin with the map. Now for those who don't play, each world you land on has its own version of map, and like all maps have longitude and latitude. And each section could have a POI, or an enemy base, or underground resource. But what it does not show you is surface resources. Not trees or plants, because even on this planet they're everywhere. But when you go into the map, you take your pointer, cruise over an area, it shows you how much surface material, copper, iron, potassium, promethium, there is in that area. And there's another map for spaceships when you're in space, or a space station. I'm not really sure what to do with that one. But as for the solar system map that you're given, some people like the ability, or have asked for the ability to go to other star systems. Though this would be interesting, I would like to see the addition of either a binary or tri-star system. And it affects you, like could it be radiation, there's more planets, so there's gravity, extra gravity where you're at, maybe more meteorites, and the likes of that. And it doesn't have to be a yellow sun, it could be a little sun, or a neutron star, and a white dwarf, and that affects things differently. Solar panels, again, gravity, radiation, and so forth. Now, moving into the armor locker itself, I'm going to talk about armor. Now, in the game, there are 4 sets of armor, from light, medium, heavy, and epic heavy. Each armor set has its own boosters, but it's limited. Light goes from 2, medium 3, heavy 4, and I think epic armor has all 8 built in. I'd like to see the addition of more slots, either to allow all the boosters, or a type 2, light armor type 2, and so forth, that allows more boosters. And other slots on the side where the armor is right here, to allow your equipment, flashlight, detector, or scanner, night vision scanner, to be added to your suit. The reason I thought about this was I noticed when I first started playing was in the game they give you a flashlight sometimes to begin with. The problem is, even without armor, you're already given a flashlight. So what's the point of having a flashlight there? I think this should be changed to where you can only use the flashlight handheld until you get armor and an armor locker. I would like it to affect you aesthetically, because I do like aesthetics, but as long as it has function. So you have a radiation upgrade, and these little tabs right here will glow. If you have an armor upgrade, the texture will change a little bit. And hold on, let me get the view real quick. And if you have a jump jet, the jump jet will change, kind of thing. There we go. Now, moving on from there, I'd like to see the addition of an extra tab. 1 tab for armor and its upgrades, and 1 tab for weapons. And the weapons have, well, a few of them at least, have their own upgrades. For instance, the assault rifle could have a grenade launcher. Sniper rifle could be upgraded to a railgun or a coil gun. And also, I said aesthetically, before I move on, the flashlight could probably be on your shoulder, like the Colonial Marines of the Aliens universe, or on the side of your helmet, or let's change out here, like that, like above, right there, or this little visor could be your light or your night vision, and night vision, I think, needs its own button. Nope. And for those wondering what epic, all it is heavy armor, only it glows. So now armor. Now one last item for armor. I think armor should have its own binoculars installed, so you don't have to keep taking out your rifle to see what's far away. Is that it for armor? I think it is. Okay. So moving on, I'd like to talk about weapons. I mentioned upgrades for the weapons, but I'd also like to see weapons that have multifunction. this idea came to me from a story my father told when he was in the Air Force. When my father was in the Air Force, he went to survival training, and they gave him a survival rifle. It could fire a .22 caliber, and I forgot what gauge the shotgun shell it could fire. The addition of a weapon like the survival tool to have rounds that could fire rounds for the assault rifle, shotgun, laser rifle, maybe have it limited, maybe not sniper rifles, maybe not that, and have a special button to switch around so you don't keep doing this. And plasma cannon and rocket launcher in general could be the same thing. The purpose for this is so you just have to carry ammunition and save slots in your backpack and in your number key space. And pistols could be one barrels over the other. Now, moving on from there, we're going to go to some of the survival equipment that you're given in the game. Okay. Now, when you begin, you're given... now you have to find it, but you're given a tent, and you have to a survival constructor, heater cooler, and you have to build this, but it's basically the way to make water and oxygen for your suit. And I have said before in the last episode, I think water should play more of a role. And right here, your water generator. The thing I'd like to see is first off the ability for this equipment to be built on bases, because they can only be built on land. Particularly basically the constructor, compactor, and this just to be, it needs to be, the water generator has to be built outside anyways, but maybe if we can build on the base, that would be nice. And I said in my last episode I'd like to see different power sources. I think that actually would be a good thing in the game for water condenser and generator, or maybe have a type 2 where energy isn't a problem anymore. However, it can be exchanged for two outputs, one meant for water, one meant for oxygen. And of course, like I said in the last episode, if you do that, if you could add salt water in the game, a trade-off. You can generate water, but it's at a slower rate, but it does get energy. So, okay. So moving on. Okay. So continuing on from the last episode, when I said mentioned MIT and the University of Michigan, the University of Michigan developed transparent solar panels, and Beijing with that polymer that can generate power on solar panels if it's moist outside, raining. This is what I think it would look like, because people would like to see underwater bases play more part in the game. Basically, Empyrion meets Subnautica. And so I'm just giving this as an example of what it looked like. It has multifunction, it generates power, and if you add that transparent aluminum that I mentioned, or that alon, I forgot the name, or the alon, it'll be strong. But other power sources in the game, like for instance, when I mentioned lightning rods and the expelling of extra energy to power up a capacitor, and for a base or for a capital ship, you can use this as a switch to expel extra energy. So your capacitor or your solar battery does not explode. Now for this antenna, that's a decoration. You could think windmill, or that thing in Star Wars was moisture evaporator. Yeah. You could add motion to this, but I'd like to make an offer for something else. Have it motionless, and have these panels right here play part. What I mean is, I read an article years and years and years and years ago, I can't even remember where I read it, about an experiment or a theory about pressure generating electricity, and they had these little pads. Yeah, I think it was an actual experiment. And they had these like these pads inside, and if there's an air pressure at a certain point, it would interact with these little pads they had in there and create ions. And in theory, it would power maybe something small like a cell phone or maybe your television. So perhaps maybe added this as like a pressure generator a pressure energy generator or something, I don't know. And each little fin, this could be for air pressure, this for wind pressure, or rain pressure, and this one reacting to radiation storms. And have this one, this decoration, what is it? Oh, be solely meant for energy, like the fusion cell or biofuel. And oh boy, I'm running out of. So again, I'm trying to keep these short. That will be explained in my next video of what I like to see when it comes to logistics and, of all things, trade. Now, before I go, I'd like to express another wish list I have, but not for Empyrion. Okay, yes, for Empyrion, where you can see Talon on their ships fishing. But this is just for games in general that, oh, let's say, I don't know, a builder game, like similar to SimCity, Banished, I think it was, where you build a dock, and you try to get the dock as close into the water as possible, and it has a boat. Or maybe it was the forest village. Anyways, and you think the villagers would use the boat to go fishing and feed your starving people. Oh no. No, 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 no. It's just there to look pretty. And village after village starves when winter comes. This needs to stop. I like art, but as long as it has function in video games. I have lost many a village to starvation because the fishermen were too dang lazy. Why can't you use a boat? Is it not up to maritime standards? Does the HOA not allow it on the lake? It's just, there's no point in it being there, so don't tease the player, please. So that just about does it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to get more base and capital ships. And until then, signing out. Good night or day wherever you are.